What's your favorite scary movie? Well, this is definitely one of them. Sometimes you just gotta go back and watch the fucking absolute best horror movies of all time. And this, without a doubt, is one of the greatest of all times. So let's see some blood. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am Rob, and we're doing Scream from 1996, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. The horror movie that helped the horror genre get back on its feet. Thanks to our boy Wes Craven. If you don't know Wes Craven, who directed this, he did Nightmare on Elm Street. He did so many good fucking horror movies. If you don't know your Wes Craven, you've got problems. So many good actors were casted in this movie as well. We've got Neve Campbell, we've got fucking Drew Barrymore, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy. The list just goes on, and the Scream franchise will live forever until they do a shit one. But it still hasn't happened yet. With all the hype of Scream 7 coming out next year, I thought it's time to dust off the fucking Scream DVDs and chuck them in and let's give them a crack again. And it's been a good 5 years since I've seen this, and I'm so glad I'm starting to watch them again. And you remember these movies, but chucking them on again after you haven't seen them for a few years is such a fucking pleasure. Because just wow, the opening scene with Drew Barrymore is directed, filmed, just acted, everything, the plot, the dialogue, everything is a 10 out of 10 perfection of the opening scene. Drew Barrymore's performance was a shock back then when I saw it at the cinemas, of her getting killed off straight away. It's just a major shock, and it was just set up so perfectly. The story was just set up perfectly from the beginnings. The beginnings of the Scream movies are perfection. That first 5 minutes of the film before the title comes on the screen is just written in so good. Horror perfection. How many times are you going to say perfection today? I'll say it 1,000,000 times. So the setup to the story is a 10 out of 10. The scare factors and the fear that it gives you is a 10 out of 10. The throwback lines to old horror movies is a 10 out of 10. And Drew Barrymore's kill scene is just amazing. And fucking brutal. And I absolutely love the little hint of her face when she pulls the mask off as if she knows who it is. So there's so many little Easter eggs in this movie when you watch it again. And I know there's so many YouTube channels that have done all the little hints and little bits to look out for, which is great. But watch it again and look for it yourself with the shoes and all the little bits and pieces is just great. I was going to say perfection. It is perfection. The cast of this movie is perfection. Jamie Kennedy as Randy was an absolute perfect character. He loves his movies, works in a video shop. He plays that character so good. He didn't just play that character what was written on the script. He played that character as if that character was him. He was that character. Sidney Prescott was so good. We really saw her character develop from someone very, very scared to fucking becoming a real strong woman by the end of the movie. And that was such good character development that they did in this movie. Same with Courtney Cox. She started off as a bitch reporter, but she really also wanted the truth. And that was great as well. So her character development in this was fucking fantastic as well. Deputy Dewey as well is really a freaking nerd and a geek to start off with, but he really becomes a pretty good detective. But his is going to be a longer build over the whole series, but he's still got some balls by the end of it. And with the scares, there also comes some pretty funny puns as well. There's some damn good puns in this movie that don't tarnish the movie at all.
Oh, shit. What'd you call me? Not your friend.
Most horrors are about the killer and their purpose, but if you analyze this movie and watch it again, and I really watch it, this movie is all about Sidney. This movie is about Sidney's story. This is Sidney. You could change the movie from Scream to just Sidney, because this is about Sidney. I always like to think about killers' masks in horror movies. They're so important. Like in Halloween and Jason, Friday the 13th, everything. And once again, the mask that they've chosen this for the Scream for Ghostface is absolute perfection. Beautiful looking mask, simple, easy, and it's scary. It can scare you. It doesn't scare me, but it can scare you. Good choice, Wes. The score and the soundtrack in this was absolutely killer. Alice Cooper in there. Fuck yeah, throw in a little bit of Alice Cooper for me, baby. All the rest of the score was fucking good and went perfect. Very good in the jump scare bits, very good in the jump scare bits. And I love the full circle of the story of the killer's reveal. Once you see the reveal of the killer, it all makes sense. The story is explained. We actually see there is a motive, because that's what we want with a killer movie, not for no reason at all. There's gotta be a motive. And once again, it's the story of Sidney. And I cannot wait to keep watching the rest of the friggin' series again, because it's been a while since I've watched 2 to 6. So I'm looking forward to re-watching all of them again. Might do one every month so I don't fucking destroy myself and have too much Ghostface. Variety it up. I like to variety it up. But this is a perfect slasher with a fucking story, a good story, a story that's going to continue. This is an easy 10 out of 10. Easy blood popcorn 10 out of 10. It brought back what was a bad first half of the 90s. The first half of the 90s was pretty fucking bad. And this just brought the slasher and horror theme back, and everyone tried to copy it, and it's great. That's not a bad thing if someone does something good and then someone else tries to fucking copy it. It happens all the time. Love this movie. Like I said, easy 10 out of 10. I'm really looking forward to watching part 2, so I'm going to crank part 2 on in a couple of weeks time, and or in a month. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to watch all of them anyway. I'll space it out. Don't forget to watch on Wednesdays. We do the movie draft, where we draft our favourite movies for whatever topic that we choose at the time. Myself and Adzi. Always good fun. And then you can vote on who is got the best draft list. Apart from that, I've got new reviews, I've got old reviews, retro reviews. And I'm going to stop fucking boring your ass, and I'm going to come back with you with the next video. So, like, subscribe, do what the fuck you want. I'll see you next time. See you!